Hey, what's going on, guys? This is TJ, and I'm welcoming you to episode number 4 of Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot, The First Cases. Alright, so let's do a quick recap of what happened from the previous episode. We got to more or less know a little bit more about the guests while we were still waiting for the engagement party to take place. And, let's just some development just to get to know some of the characters a bit more, although one of them was a bit, some of them were nice, some of them were a pain in the asses, but it took a while to get everything straightened out. We even had to find our actual hotel room, and also try to figure out a few more things here and there. Not much in terms of plot development. Nothing came around as of yet, but now we pretty much know everybody that's been invited to the engagement party. So, let's see here. Hang on for just a moment. Alright, let's see. Alright, sorry, I had to fix some stuff. Alright, so after we got to know most of the all the characters that's been invited to the engagement party, the dinner started and got to know everybody a bit more. But then something happened. Something interrupted the dinner party, and let's see if they show it. Wait till this scene loaded. So, oh yeah, here. So this is what happened.
This is Mr. Hagen's study, Detective. Would you like me to stay?
I understand if you are not comfortable with such a scene.
Don't you worry, Detective. I've seen much worse in my years.
I am thankful to have someone of your resilience by my side.
I just can't believe someone could have killed him in cold blood.
I admire your faith in your fellow man, but you will be surprised what someone will do when they feel there is no other option.
Mr. Hagen does not allow any staff into the study, and they were all present in the staff quarters, or part of the dinner service.
And everyone was accounted for?
Everyone. It is my business to know all my staff's whereabouts.
We'll talk more about this one after this dialogue here.
Phone call? Yeah. It was one of his business associates.
Do you know what associate?
He didn't say. I think he was French. The accent still confuses me sometimes.
And did the Major sound any different to you? Panicked, anxious, anything out of the ordinary?
Not that I noticed. I think he was embarrassed about ending up on the floor after Master Gideon's one punch. I would be.
Your help and discretion in this matter are greatly appreciated.
So first of all, the punch that Archibald was talking about that Gideon gave to Major Hagen, at the beginning of the last episode, the chapter I should say, Gideon and Hagen got into a bit of a scuffle. From Hagen's point of view, he does not like, where's he at? He does not like Gideon Demir, who is engaged to Angeline right here, primarily because the engagement was rather sudden. So I'm not sure if Major Hagen had a thing for Angeline, but the time frame between when Angeline and Gideon met and up to the time they announced their engagement was, I would say, it happened within maybe less than a year per se. But Gideon's personality, he's a nice guy. He's financially stable, and a part of what Major Hagen thinks is that they're marrying into it, and from a financial standpoint. I mean, Gideon was the one that solved most of the Van den Bosch's financial situations, not including when Angeline's mom, Cassandra, had to auction most of her paintings and belongings. Sorry, from the prologue. And then now, there was something that confused Hercule for a moment. Let me see if I can find it real quick. So here it is. So it turns out that Major Hagen's been with the family since Cassandra's husband passed away, and Major disapproves the wedding, mainly because I think it's because the engagement was too sudden, or maybe he likes Angeline. I don't know. Let's see what else. There's something else. Major's that doesn't count. Oh well, this is in relation to. Well, obviously he's an ex-military, but he was associated with. Where's he at? Ernesto da Silva. We'll probably know more about that later on, but let's go back to Major Hagen for a moment. So he does support the family here. Not a bad man, but we're trying to figure out how his support ties into the Van Bosch's, like what the actual reasoning is. So there it is. This is what I was talking about. Ernesto da Silva did work with the Major, but apparently it wasn't as stable as it seemed to be. So he does have some secrets. I don't know if we'll know more to the murder, so we'll find out about that. There's no documents associated to me yet. We'll probably find out in the study room. And speaking of the study room, so somewhere in the middle of the last chapter, which was in the last episode, that is, Archibald took a phone call that was addressed to Major Hagen. So we need to find out what that phone call conversation was all about, if it ties to his murder here. We also met this guy and Jackie Conrad. She's American, a newspaper magnate, but we can't figure out why she's there to begin with. Inge Frank is one of the maidservants of the house. Margot Duval does a lot of charity work. Let's see, Zachariah is Gideon's younger brother, and apparently he was in the military too. He's a field medic, and he does have a history with Major Hagen. Apparently they were against each other to a certain extent. I don't know if they fought each other in the war, or if they had some sort of disagreements, or I forgot that word is called, but yeah. Let's see what else. Elizabeth Paget is still there, and she was the one that actually it was either her or Inge Frank that discovered it was Elizabeth. Elizabeth was the one that discovered Major Hagen dead in the study. And she was engaged to Luke, but apparently she passed away during the past few years, in between the prologue and the first chapter of the game. And so now we got this to deal with. Let's see if there's anything else here. Oh yeah, the blackmail letters. So apparently someone's blackmailing the family. They're targeting specifically Angeline. Gideon's the one that's been paying the blackmail letter, or the blackmailer, in hopes of going away. But then they keep coming, and then apparently there's one more blackmail letter in which they have to pay another 5,000 francs, so that way he or she will be gone for good. We just don't know who the blackmailer is, and it could be somewhere in this house here. Let's see. He wishes to suffer. The motive could be wishes family to leave the manor. We don't know why. This is Angeline's letter. So that's this RSVP. Okay. So that's what we got going on right now here. All right, so we're gonna start on with the investigation, and we'll have to see what we can find. Let's take a look at the Major's body. Looks like a stab wound. Is that a bruise on his right eye across the face? We go from blackmail to murder. Wait, perhaps?
Ah. Huh.
Is that a flask or it's a letter stuck between the seat?
Ah.
So does the major know about the blackmail too? We gotta figure out what or why he has that same letter. The window's open.
Aha.
Maybe that's how the murder came in. Nice bucket.
Aha.
That's probably what caused the damp on the carpet. I can't do that. Wait, what's that? A wallet. Okay, so that was untouched. Let me look, make sure I don't miss anything else. Open wallet. Okay, so let's make some deductions. Well, first of all, let's see about this. By the way, the weather's been acting really crazy here. It's cooler now, but we got a tropical storm that's about to hit SoCal over the weekend within the next few days, and it's going to get hot over here again in the next weekend in the Bay Area. So goodness gracious, this summer the weather's been peaking pretty bad. Not to mention the whole climate change, the sudden climate change, because the past few days, while I did the first few episodes of this full playthrough, the humidity was ridiculous. It's not as bad as Japan, but the humidity around the area that I'm in stood out pretty well. It was something I couldn't even bear with. Just trying to clear up all these highlights. Okay, so let's make some deductions. There's two here.
Order and method. That.
No, the comment to that.
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Maybe the bucket was caused by, or maybe the bruise was caused by the bucket. Yeah, let's keep going. Looked recent.
Is there something? I cannot see the logic in this.
What could this impaired?
Magnifique.
You need water for plaster for the most part.
This will not get me any closer. I must act on
Oh no,
thought and
that extra one existed even before this idea. Let's see. Burn mark. I wonder, how about...
I must take a different approach
Okay,
if I am...
so let's go highlight the answer.
Some would say a lucky guess.
That's a good question.
Come, my little Grace Alice. Another success.
Good point. Interesting. Okay.
Oh. Things are beginning to become clearer.
My thoughts exactly. See if Archibald B knows something.
Anything I can do to help, Detective? Rihanna brought him some ice for his cheek earlier.
And when was that?
When he returned from his cigar outside, He asked for something to be brought upstairs to ease the swelling of his face.
Also, the bruise was solely formed. So, Gideon's left-handed if that's the case.
He would normally smoke only in here. Lady Vandenbosch doesn't like the smell of his cigars in the public rooms.
Your help and discretion in this matter are greatly appreciated.
Alright, so let's see here. At least Cassandra doesn't like people smoking in her house. So it's unclear if the killer simply was invited or slipped in. The burn mark, it's not from the fireplace, so it's from the cigar, possibly. The ice bucket, I don't know what the ice bucket was for. The purple bruise is probably from the left hook. Let me look at this. Because the way the bruise looks, that has to be a left hook. Yeah, he had to punch. Gideon had to punch Major Hagen across the face on the right eye with his left hand, so that's a left hook punch, possibly. Let's see, what else? Oh. Clothing rack.
Oh.
It's an ashtray. Is that the cigar? A towel.
Huh.
Rule that out. And a matchbox. Let's look at the desk.
Aha. Huh. Huh.
Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh, there's 4. Holy crap. None yet, but there's 4 in this mind map. Alright, let's see what we got here. Get the ash ray. Ring of dust. It was never used. I don't know if the cigar was caused by the burn mark.
What a revelation!
Yeah, we could have lit the cigar if there was no matches left, unless you use the last match. Hang on for just a moment. Sorry, the roof of my throat's itching. I don't know if it's the strawberry milk I just consumed or something else. let's see what we got here. So was it the knife? Is that what's missing?
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Yeah, definitely not that. So, hold on. What am I missing? Oh, was it the water?
I must take a different approach.
Hold on.
Is there something? Things are beginning to become clearer.
I need to use the water to clean the room, perhaps. Grab another one.
Another success. I never doubted myself.
Poker was cleaned, yep.
This will not get me any closer to my...
The logs were neglected too.
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Interesting.
Anything I can do to help, Detective? As I said, Mr. Hagen did not allow the staff in here alone, besides me. He was very clear on that.
Have the staff ever given him reason to not trust them?
Nothing has ever been brought to my attention, but he was very clear no one was to be in here without his permission.
I suppose it is not unreasonable. I would have thought with his military past he would have kept it immaculate, with not a speck of dust or hair out of place. But the fireplace, for instance, says otherwise.
I haven't seen it lit since he has been with us, even in the colder months. It's been in this state for some time.
Your help and discretion in this matter are greatly appreciated.
Order and method. That...
But yeah, that explains why he has no matches.
What a revelation!
No fire source. So how is he smoking?
Magnifique.
That's a good point. Which is so he was invited. He or she was invited.
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
So he invited the killer, even though he doesn't let anybody in the study. Interesting.
Come, my little grey cells.
The Major knew his killer, but what do I link this one with?
I cannot see the logic in this. Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
Dang, another mind map. I'm on a roll.
Anything I can do to help, Detective? As you wish.
Huh.
Oh, I didn't mean to talk to you.
What do you need?
Talk to him real quick.
The male guests, I believe, he knows in a business capacity, but I'm afraid that's all I know. I will add, though, he has not always been the easiest man to get along with.
You are talking from personal experience of working for him.
I am head butler to the Van den Bosch family in their home. He has made himself comfortable, but to me he still remained a guest. There's not much I couldn't tell you. As soon as he found out my father was in the army, his stories never stopped.
I am sure an officer of his rank must have many a tale.
A tale is a fitting description. Not so much a pinch of salt, more like a bag is needed listening to them.
Your help and discretion in this matter are greatly appreciated. Oh. Hmm.
Sounds like Margot. She's the only other person I know that would be friends with Cassandra. Wait, was it Cassandra or Evangeline? Hold on, let me read this again. Well, both, so it has to be Margot. Well, let's hold our assumptions later on. Can I get the fucking trophy?
Ah. Aha.
Oh, the damn head on the rug is in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Who is this from? Hold on, let me go back. Who is this? Is it Ernesto?
Oh. I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction. I must act on thought and fact.
So I was right about that. Okay. Ernesto?
Come now,
Oh, okay, good. I was about to say.
I must think lot. I must take a different approach if I am. Is there something? The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together. Things are beginning to become clearer.
Certainly. What do you need? You've lost me, Detective?
I struggle to believe they were both helping her out of the kindness of their hearts. Could they have been fighting for the madame's affection.
Ah, that didn't take you long to spot.
Your help and discretion in this matter are greatly appreciated.
So he knows something. Okay. Oh, Cassandra, not Angeline. Cassandra is the one. I got that confused. But who, though? Who in particular?
What a revelation! Another success. I never doubted myself. Magnifique.
So our suspicions now are... Is Ernesto possibly? Ernesto, Margot, and Gideon. Okay.
Certainly. What do you need? As you wish, Detective.
Chapter 3 is completed. Nice. On to Chapter 4. Good. Interrogations. Oh, in the saloon. Okay.
The guests are waiting for you, Detective. I informed them of what has happened, but divulged no details.
I am most grateful. Madame Vandenbosch is here also?
She's in her room with Miss Angeline. It may be better to speak with them privately tomorrow.
Oui, merci. I shall come find you again once my questioning is complete.
So Ernesto, Margot, and Gideon are the top 3. Okay. Alright, let's get this show underway. Interrogate these idiots. Can I get a drink?
Huh. Aha.
I got an achievement for...
I'm afraid our conversation is of a more formal nature this time.
So the Major was murdered?
It appears so.
You can't think that I did it, though.
I will be questioning everyone over the course of the evening, and your cooperation will certainly speed up that process.
I was here in the salon, minding my own business, enjoying my own company.
Minding your business from whom?
Comtesse, what's her name, and my brother. Apart from wanting to congratulate him for a great right hook, there was nothing I had to say to him.
Comtesse de Vos? And they will both confirm you were here?
If she had taken a moment to notice anything besides herself, she will tell you I was here the whole time.
I think that is all for now. Merci for your time. Bonsoir, Monsieur Beckers. Merci for speaking with me.
Monsieur Poirot, or should it be Detective Poirot now?
Detective Poirot is perfect. Merci. I would like to begin with a few questions.
Go right ahead, Detective Poirot. I took great pleasure in seeing the Major's ego as well as his face take a bruising, and then I made my way to the library.
Where you spoke with Mademoiselle Conrad.
And yourself? Yes.
We were the only two that you spoke with.
One of the servants bought me a drink, and I was telling her about the benefits of joining a union. She didn't understand what it truly meant to be a part of something. Something bigger than just her. I was trying to explain to her how...
Monsieur.
Oh, yes, it was just the two of you, and the servant.
And you are sure there was no one else present?
I'm not sure what you're getting at, Detective. You were there.
You didn't see Ernesto in the library with Jackie?
Merci, Monsieur Beckers. It has been a most enlightening conversation.
So you got, so far the count is Ernesto. Oh, let me look at the list. So one, I'm not counting her. 2, 3 now. 4 and 5. So 5 people don't like Major Hagen thus far, based on what I've gathered. Let's talk with Mr. Da Silva.
Monsieur Da Silva, merci for obliging me.
A detective comes to a party and a dead body shows up. Coincidental, don't you think?
A man's death is not a matter to joke on, monsieur.
Who said anything about a joke? I am saying what I see.
So grim. The
Then
truth
perhaps
is,
you can tell me what it was you saw this evening.
Following whatever that was in the hall, I moved to the library.
Is there anyone that can confirm that?
Miss Conrad and Beckers were in there, arguing about something. The books held my interest far more than their conversation.
You did not speak with them until dinner was served?
I had no reason to get involved with their little spat. It was clear they didn't want me to hear, and that suited me just fine.
Merci for your cooperation. Monsieur Demir, I am sorry your celebrations have taken a rather dark turn.
As am I, Detective. I hope we will be able to bring this investigation to an end post-haste.
With your cooperation, I will do my very best.
I was here in the salon. I thought I would have a moment of peace to calm myself, but the Comtesse and my brother followed behind.
Did they inquire into the reasons behind the fight in the hall?
I think they both saw it as some light entertainment, more than anything else.
The Countess does not strike me as one to enjoy violence.
And not so much violence, but karma for the Major, perhaps. You did not hear how he spoke to my wife-to-be. She is still rather upset about the whole thing.
If you would be so kind as to stay here, I may require your help further. Countess, I am sorry our next conversation must be under such formal circumstances.
It is not the first time Felix has ruined a good party.
The current state of tonight's celebrations is the least of my priorities, Countess.
Well, it's at the top of mine, detective. I did not come here for a wake.
Perhaps then we should proceed with my questions, and you can get back to celebrating.
It would be my pleasure, chérie. I did. I thought by staying in one place, it would be easy for the staff to bring me my drinks. How wrong I was.
And who else was present in here?
The handsome groom-to-be and his brother, although Zachariah, is it, made a rather sharp exit at one stage.
Did he say where he was going?
He barely said 2 words to either of us. I think he was more concerned with his drink.
Merci, Countess. If I have any further questions, I shall be sure to come and find you. Mademoiselle Conrad, I am sure you understand the delicate nature of the situation.
I knew I had seen your face before. You were just an officer when that story hit the paper.
You have a très bon memory, mademoiselle. That was a long time ago.
You can't escape the past, especially when you go and do something like that.
That is very true, but one can learn from it and create a better future.
What would you say to an
Please, mademoiselle. Catching the Major's killer is my sole concern right now. Now, if you would be so kind, I have some questions for you.
I arrived, unpacked my bags in my room, and made it downstairs just in time to see the Major take a right hook from Gideon. And then I went to check out the library.
And you were joined by Monsieur Beckers.
And Ernesto, or Monsieur Silver, as you say. But after he ignored my attempt at pleasantries, I left him to his book in the corner.
And your conversation with Monsieur Beckers that I interrupted.
You are a persistent one, aren't you? Makes sense now I know who you really are. You'll just have to wait and read about it in the paper like everyone else.
You have been most helpful. I request you do not go too far. Merci.
It has something to do with the workers' strike. Alright, let me figure this out. I got 6 to link. Holy crap. Okay, let's see what we got here.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius. Magnifique.
Further proves their alibi.
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
I mean, we saw them in the library.
Some would say a lucky guess. This will not get me any closer to my...
Hold on. Let me link this to this.
I must act on thought and... Order and method. That is the way. What a revelation! I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps...
Oh, I gotta plug in my wireless controller. Alright, here we go.
Come, my little Grace eyes. Is there something... The pieces of the puzzle are fine.
Talk to Hugo first. Actually, Zechariah, then Hugo.
I'm an open book, Poirot. I told you already. I was here in the salon.
And you did not leave even once.
Well, I had to use the bathroom. I didn't realize I had to update you every time nature called.
You may keep your calls of nature to yourself, merci. And then you returned to the salon?
If you don't believe me, ask Archibald. He saw me on his way up to the study.
I think that is all for now. Merci for your time.
Whatever you require, Detective. I know you are probably used to dealing with criminals, but not everyone is trying to hide something.
I hope for your sake that you do not hide anything from me.
What is it you think I'm hiding?
I struggle to believe you did not know of Monsieur da Silva's presence in the library.
Is that what this is about? I saw him hiding in the corner, pretending to read. I'd be surprised if he even could. I did not speak to him, and he certainly didn't make any attempt to
That
speak
reading thing.
Monsieur Demire invited you here to speak with him. You didn't see that as a fitting time too?
I was speaking with Jacqueline, and quite frankly, I was in no mood to be dealing with that man.
Merci, Monsieur Beckers. It has been a most enlightening conversation.
Is he more worried about the union strike than Ernesto himself?
another success. Things are beginning to become clearer.
Can you confirm seeing Monsieur Demir in the hall this evening?
Zachariah, yes. I was on my way with a bottle of whiskey to the Major. He shouted a rather ignorable greeting to me and asked for directions to the bathroom.
I presume you showed him the way?
Aye, detective. I showed him to the hall bathroom. I didn't think it was wise to attempt the stairs, not in that state.
That's interesting. Okay, let's see here. This might be a bit of a short episode, but I'm going to end the episode once this chapter is complete.
I must take a different approach if I am... What a revelation! Magnifique.
Another mind map. Okay, good.
I'm an open book, Poirot. Why would I? I've got nothing to say to him, except maybe to keep his hands off what is ours.
What is yours that he could want?
Money, of course. Why do you think he has been suckling at the Van den Bosch teat for so long? He's bled them dry, and now they will all do the same to our money.
Damn, really?
Fathers, Gideons, it's all the same. When you have not been on level playing fields for years, it's hard to have a fair game.
I am afraid I do not quite understand.
If we're playing golf, he has a full set of clubs and a caddy in the form of my father, and I have the old split putter. Make sense now?
Perfectly. I think that is all for now. Merci for your time.
Whatever you require, Detective. I know that I don't think, or didn't think, a great deal of him. I'm just sorry I didn't get the chance to tell him what I thought.
The man has recently been murdered.
Someone must stand up to men like him, with their crooked dealings and lack of, well, any compassion at all.
Another rousing speech.
Bars instead. Yes, Gideon invited me. If you will recall from our previous conversation, we have been working together and he thought now would be a good time to discuss matters.
To discuss business at the celebration of his engagement?
We're all here, so what better time? He thought Da Silva might even let his guard down, if he was in a more jubilant mood. It would be wise to not continue to ignore us any longer.
And what business was it that was so urgent?
We're trying to resolve the worker strikes. It has gone on long enough. Now is the time for him to listen to our demands so we can put an end to it all. Put the violence and upset behind us. Anger, yes, but that's all. I wouldn't kill a man.
You must see why this leads me to have suspicions.
You can't honestly think I did it. I am a man of peace. I make changes with words, not with violence. I am fighting for the basic rights of our workers, nothing more. If he can't see that, he is the lesser man than I already thought.
And where does Monsieur Gédéon fit into the negotiations? And his brother?
His brother? I didn't even know he had a brother until I arrived here. Gédéon certainly hasn't talked much about him. I get the sense there's not much love lost between them. Last I saw, he was outside having a cigar.
Oui, I spoke with him myself, but that was some time ago.
He does love a cigar. You'd have to stand out in those conditions. I could barely see him through the snow.
Merci, Monsieur Bacchus. It has been a most enlightening conversation.
I just thought of something stupid on that line. I'll leave it alone.
More questions? I suppose so.
No shit.
Felix, I didn't know him that well. We spoke a handful of times. I met him through Cassandra. I thought him to be rather pompous.
But you remained polite, as any gentleman would.
Of course. What is there to say? She's a remarkable woman, and I admire her. Even after Edwin's death, she held herself with such poise.
It sounds as though you hold her in the highest regard.
And why shouldn't I? Women these days could take a leaf out of her book on how to present themselves. He had approached me about doing some business together. I like to know who I'm getting into bed with first.
Some choicey
And
words
you
there.
both went ahead with your business venture.
Not so much a business venture, more security related. But there is no need to discuss that any further.
I wonder why. Probably fell through.
Is there something you wish to remain hidden about your partnership, monsieur?
It was far from a partnership. I hired him to run security at my factories. If the workers were going to get violent, I wanted to make sure I was ready to protect my property. That is correct.
And the reason for your support was always of a purely platonic nature.
Not intimate.
If you're trying to insinuate that I was expecting something in return, you can remove your head from the gutter.
He's adamant about that.
I meant no offense. I'm only trying to understand the dynamic of your relationship. Merci for your cooperation.
No trouble at all. How can I help? I knew of him more than actually knowing him myself. In the past, he made his feelings towards my brother and I quite clear.
And that was not in a positive way.
I certainly wouldn't call trying to get Angeline to postpone the engagement positive. What do you mean?
I do not mean to pry, only I imagine the whole room was aware of his celebrating with a bottle.
You must be mistaken. Neither my brother nor I drink. We aren't the closest, but what brothers are?
I would argue that many are.
We've lived very different lives. Our priorities are different. He does not see things the way I do. There isn't much more to say. I have lent my voice to some discussions. I have tried to facilitate meetings. Just positive support.
Does that positive support include sending letters to those on the opposing side?
Detective Poirot, I'm not sure what you think I have done.
Monsieur, a letter has been found threatening the Major of what might happen if he does not act promptly, and now he has wound up dead.
You think my sending him a letter, warning him not to get involved, means I murdered him?
At this time, it is certainly reason for me to be suspicious.
I have been funding the strikes, Detective. These men deserve fair treatment, and a wage that fits the hard work they undertake every single day. The Major didn't see that. All he cared about was the money for his services, and that is all I care to discuss.
If you would be so kind as to stay here, I may require your help further.
Okay. It's good that he's helping out the strike workers to a certain extent. We still gotta figure out how the Major's linked to all that.
I am all yours, Detective.
Yeah, not this time.
Why would I actively choose to speak to that wretched man?
He is really unpopular towards these guests.
You were quite adamant of your protection of Madame. If he was as awful as you portrayed him to be, there must have been some words spoken, or perhaps written?
He was quite aware of how I felt towards him, and the lengths he has gone to remain close to the family. That is all that needs to be said.
I must admit, I would not want to be on the receiving end of your tongue's wrath, Countess.
Wise thinking, Detective. I imagine she would have shed a tear for him, but she should not waste any more.
You don't think she would? Or you don't want her to?
I have made it quite clear what I think of that man, alive or dead. I would not want her to waste anything further on him.
Yeah, she's sharp, alright.
Do you believe there was something more to their friendship?
As I have said, Detective, I am not one to gossip.
I would not even consider your name and that word in the same sentence.
Because it is not gossip when it's the truth. Why else do you think he would stay around for so long? Yes, he was a friend and partner to the Viscount, but it is plain to see it is Cassandra's partnership he longs for. He was a disgusting leech that was driven only by money and power, like most men.
I can assure you not all men are concerned with such egotistical wealth.
That may be, but they are few and far between. I believe you are a special case, Detective Poirot.
It is not the first time I have been described in such a way.
Embrace the compliment, Detective. You have set yourself apart from the horrid crétins that seem to somehow make their way into positions of authority and power.
And that is what the Major was doing? Using Madame Van den Bosch as his ladder to the top?
You are finally seeing the man he was. A weak and self-indulgent social climber.
Merci, Countess. If I have any further questions, I shall be sure to come and find you.
You came to the right place. What do you need? I know that he was not the good and honest man he liked to think he was.
In what sense?
If you spoke to him for longer than 5 minutes, you'd know. I've met people in dark alleys I trust before him.
And on the occasions when you did speak with him, what was discussed?
I'm sorry, Poirot. If you're looking for a deep-seated secret between me and him, you're going to be disappointed. That man has got some real anger issues. I get why he's frustrated. He's trying his best for the workers, but holding on to rage like that, something's gonna burst. If you think you can use me as some sort of gossip machine, you are sorely mistaken.
I can assure you it is not a case of gossiping. At this point, everything may be relevant to my investigation.
So I would be helping you potentially solve a crime? You should have said that off the bat. To say he's smitten is an understatement. I reckon he's been wanting her for years.
I see. Madame does not feel the same?
Doesn't look like it. If she did, she would have said something about it, right? I don't know if you really would. She's got a mouth the size of Texas, except when it comes to truths about her. She wants everyone to think that she's the savior of these girls at the shelter. But there's a side to her I don't think anyone gets to see.
And what side is that?
One that she is keeping tucked away under her very expensive dress.
You have been most helpful. I request you do not go too far. Merci.
I am all yours, Detective.
Merci, Countess. If...
I'm an open book. That doesn't surprise me, and yet no one actually asks.
I am asking now.
I should have expected that, shouldn't I? What is...
I would find it very helpful if you could at least elaborate on your relationship.
He went to school, got an education, and was the apple of our father's eye. I went to war. See the difference now. If you want to know about Gideon's part in the Union, why don't you ask him?
So, you are aware of his support for them?
Yes, well, he...
Oui, monsieur?
It'd be best to just ask him.
I think that is all for now. Merci for your time.
Let me do some stuff right now. I got a lot to do here. Let me talk with Gideon real quick.
No trouble at all. How can I help? I believe there are more important matters at hand than talking about my brother and I's relationship, or lack thereof.
The murderer is in this house, and by holding back information that may help my investigation, you only make me suspicious of your involvement. Monsieur Demir, if you continue to withhold information, I can only assume you are hiding something, and must treat you as a prime suspect in the Major's murder.
I have nothing to hide. If you must know, we have not been on the best terms for years now. As I said, we are different people. He does not see the importance of planning for the future, and as much as my parents tried, they could not make him see that. I suppose that is why he sees me as their favorite.
He still believes that now?
I assume so. We barely talk anymore. I was hoping we would be able to sit down and talk and leave the past behind. But this evening...
If you would be so kind as to stay here, I may require your help further.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius. This will not get me any closer to... I should not be surprised by my own skills of the... The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together. order and method. That... I must act on thought.
What else is there?
Another success. I never doubted myself.
So I still got to talk with Ernesto and Margot. Oh, okay, here we go. Where's Ernesto? I'll talk with him first.
More questions?
Mademoiselle Conrad was quick to talk of your hidden feelings towards her. Perhaps only hidden to Madame van den Bosch herself.
What has this got to do with the Major's death? Does Cassandra know you have spoken to others about this? I have only tried to help her. There may be some feelings there, but Madame van den Bosch does not know of them, and I trust that it will remain that way.
Merci for your cooperation.
Alright, now to grill. Well, actually, is there another one? Okay, now to grill Margot.
I am all yours, detective.
Countess, you gave me the impression the Major and the Madame were close, but there were times where he acted rather aggressively to her, n'est-ce pas?
I am sorry, detective, but I did not mean to give you such an impression. Ever the charmer, detective. I would talk more on it, but I'm afraid Cassandra would think I am talking about her behind her back. It is not often I am swayed so easily. I applaud you on your willingness and persistence. From day one, I was wary of his intentions.
Good.
It was not long before he showed his true colors. If it is a tear she sheds, it should be one of joy that he is out of her life.
I understand your feelings towards the Major, but perhaps there was...
He was a bully. He took his shortcomings out on her, and she sat there and accepted it. I never thought I would see the day. Perhaps now she will be able to see the man he truly was. Karma will always catch up to you.
Merci, Countess. If I have any further questions, I shall be sure to come and find you. My time with the guests is complete, for tonight, at least.
Do you know who killed Major Hagen?
I am afraid it is not as simple as that. There are many steps that lead to the truth. I must think on everything I have heard this evening and dissect the truths from the lies. Merci for your assistance this evening. Au revoir.
But now you got a murder on your hands, and I feel like that and the blackmail's tied together somehow. There's 5 here. Oh, Jackie wants this.
Things are beginning to become clearer. Magnifique. I cannot see the logic in this. I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps a second... Things are beginning to become clearer. What a revelation! I must take a different approach if I am to... say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
Just made 100 deductions. Holy crap. New achievement. I was knocking at the door.
Entrez.
Detective,
Oh, hello.
I'm sorry I did not join you in the salon as requested.
Please, mademoiselle. There is no need to apologize.
I was with Maman in her room. She would not allow anyone to see it, but I could see she was terribly upset.
Most understandable.
Do you have any suspicions as to who could have killed him?
I'm afraid my suspicions extended across all of the party's guests. While it seems as though their alibis all corroborate one another's, the disdain and hostility towards the Major makes them rife with motive.
I know there was some bad blood between the Major and some of the guests, but not enough to kill him, surely. She may seem tough on the exterior, but she's really quite kind when you get to know her.
The Countess? She is a formidable force I would not want to come up against.
Don't be silly, Detective. She wouldn't hurt a soul. Jacqueline, I mean. I assume that's who you were talking about, Detective, after what happened between them.
That is a story I have yet to hear.
She must have told you about the piece she was writing on us, about Gideon's work and our marriage.
Somehow, that was the only thing she did not mention.
That's strange. I thought that is what she would have started the conversation with. Well, she had come to the house to interview me, and when I entered the library, she was there with Felix amid a rather heated conversation.
Do you know what this conversation regarded?
I'm afraid not, but Felix was quite enraged. He picked up an envelope from the table and stormed out, slamming the door behind him.
And Mademoiselle Conrad?
She was equally heated in the moment. She had a few choice words for him that I wouldn't care to repeat. Better, thank you, Detective. She's resting in her room. It is the best place for her.
And you, mademoiselle?
I'm not quite sure. It is a rather surreal feeling. I did not think I would miss him like I do.
It is understandable. He has been a close friend to your maman for many years.
And to me, Detective. We had grown close. After Father's passing, he was always there for me. And now, he's gone as well.
You must try and not think on it like that.
It is easier said than done, Detective.
I have no doubt, but you can be assured the culprit will not remain at large for long. You have my word.
I'm sorry, but I just can't imagine any of them committing such a heinous crime.
It can often be hard to look past one's personal feelings for someone and see their flaws.
It's not that, Detective. It's just they have known each other for years. Why would any of them act now?
I was under the impression the Major had merely a business relationship with some of the guests.
So we started talking to all of them one by one.
True. But those invited know each other, some of them for years. They may not seem like it, but some are even friends. I should return to my room now, Detective. It has been a trying day for us all.
Oui, mademoiselle. I am afraid tomorrow may bear a resemblance, but I will not stop until I have found his killer.
I am certainly glad you are here, Detective.
When and where a detective is required, that is where I shall be. Bonne nuit, mademoiselle.
It's a good call.
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction. The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together. Order and method. That is the... Come, my little gray cells. Another success. I never... What a revelation!
What the hell is that? El Secret. Alright, so this is what we've learned so far. Oh, hold on. Okay, so first of all, this is what we've learned so far from the past couple of episodes. So Major Hagen was murdered. We don't have a murder weapon. There's a lot of discrepancies in both the Major's study and his bedroom. It seems that the suspect or the murderer was invited into the room rather than forced into based on how the door was. And all the guests are linked together somehow. And the one thing that all these guests have in common is that they have a huge disdain for Major Hagen. for various reasons, ranging anywhere from Gideon's purpose in regards to the strike with Hugo, and now Jackie wants some dirt on the Major as well too from Hugo, and as well as the support from Margot to the Van den Bosch family. It's just all over the place right now, so it looks like one of them may be lying. And now we still got to figure out how the whole blackmail letter ties into all this. So this was a really good episode. We're going to stop it over here. We're going to continue with Chapter 5 in the next episode. I will see you guys real soon, so stay tuned for the excitement over there, guys.